guys, it's Paradise and welcome back to another Monster Hunter Wilds video and to our Weapon Workshop tutorial series. Today we'll be continuing our Weapon Workshop series where we take a deep dive into each of the weapons available in the game. In this episode, we'll be turning our attention to the Longsword, a fan favorite with a sleek and deadly playstyle. This weapon has a lot to offer, and in Monster Hunter Wilds, it's got some exciting new additions. If you guys do enjoy these videos, a like and comment or a share would be super appreciated, as we've put a ton of work into each and every one of these guides. So whether you're picking up the Longsword for the first time, or you've been using it for years across the series, this guide will walk you through everything you need to know. So let's get into it. The Longsword is a fluid and precise weapon that balances speed, reach, and counterplay, making it one of the most versatile choices in Monster Hunter Wilds. Its combat revolves around the Spirit Gauge, as it will increase your attack power and unlock stronger moves as you level it up from white to yellow to red. The Spirit Gauge is displayed on the top left corner, and it's actually split into two parts mechanically. This video will refer to the parts as your Spirit Meter, the inside of the bar that fills up, and the Spirit Gauge, the outside icon that changes color as you level it up. By default, attacking with your basic attacks will begin filling your Spirit Meter, which again is the glowing bar inside the weapon icon. Meanwhile, executing a powerful spirit attack called the Iai Slash will level up the Spirit Gauge, changing the outside of the icon to a different color. That isn't the only thing that fuels the Longsword though. The Longsword's defining feature is its counterplay, allowing hunters to parry attacks to maintain offensive pressure. Monster Hunter Wilds refines this further with Crimson moves, which replace your standard attacks when you are at the red color gauge, giving you enhanced versions of those attacks, and the Spirit Release Slash, a high damage follow-up to your Spirit Helm Breaker that gives you hyper armor to absorb incoming attacks. If you want to hit the ground running with the Longsword, the primary goal is to stay in your red gauge as much as possible. This is indicated by the outer ring of the weapon icon glowing red. This unlocks more powerful moves like the previously mentioned Spirit Release Slash. To reach red gauge, you need to level up your Spirit Gauge. The easiest way to do this early on is through basic attack combos, with the most reliable being the overhead slash combo by pressing triangle 3 times. This will fill your Spirit Meter, the inner bar of the gauge, which builds as you land attacks. The Spirit Meter is required for key attacks like your Spirit Combo, which is performed by pressing R2 4 times. This combo is essential as its final attack, the Iai Slash, levels up your Spirit Gauge, changing the outer gauge color from empty to white, yellow, and finally red when you're at your strongest. As you improve, you will want to rely more on counters to level up this gauge though, as they are faster and safer. These are two counters that you might want to use. Foresight Slash with R2 plus circle during a combo, and then R2 after being hit. This lets you dodge and attack and counter, but like your Spirit combo, it requires Spirit Meter to execute. You also have your Spirit Iai Slash with R2 and X mid combo to enter special Sheathe, and then R2 before being hit. This will counter the attack and instantly level up your gauge if successful. Once you've reached red gauge, your basic overhead slash combo transforms into the Crimson Slash combo. You also gain access to the Spirit Release Slash combo performed by pressing R2 plus triangle, followed by 2 more R2s to execute the Spirit Helm Breaker into Spirit Release Slash. Since Helm Breaker and Spirit Release Slash will consume your gauge level, taking you from red all the way back down to white, this creates an awesome loop where you earn gauge through normal attacks and counters, and then spend it on powerful finishers. Something of note, in Wilds, the Spirit Gauge timers have been adjusted, making it more common to move in and out of red gauge. White lasts for 3 minutes 20 with a 2.5% attack buff, yellow lasts 2 minutes 20 with a 5% attack buff, and red lasts around 50 seconds with a 10% buff. Mastering the flow of building, maintaining, and spending Spirit Gauge effectively while using counters and finishers at the right moment is what makes the Longsword a deadly and rewarding weapon. To master the Longsword, it's essential to understand its basic combos, which can be woven together seamlessly depending on the scenario. Pressing triangle 3 times executes the overhead combo, consisting of overhead slash, Overhead Slash 2, and Crescent Slash. The first Overhead Slash is a high-reaching attack ideal for hitting heads and severing tails. Following up with Triangle again transitions into Overhead Slash 2, and pressing Triangle one more time finishes the sequence with Crescent Slash. This is a new move to Monster Hunter Wilds. This loopable combo is a reliable way to fill the spirit gauge quickly, setting you up for more powerful attacks. Alternatively, pressing circle twice performs the thrust combo, starting with thrust, a forwards poke useful for spacing, followed by rising slash, an upward slash great for hitting weak points like monster heads. Since basic attacks can be freely combined, you can chain rising slash into overhead slash for a high-reaching, gauge-building combo. In general, all moves can be looped, allowing for quick spirit gauge build-up with fluid attack strings. A staple of the longsword is the Fade Slash, which can be executed by pressing triangle and circle together. This is a backwards slashing attack, which can be influenced by player input. If you press triangle and circle and a direction on the left stick during a combo, it will allow you to quickly reposition back and to the sides, making it a decent option for you to evade incoming monster attacks or hop to the side to catch moving monsters. In Wilds, the Fade Slash will also dramatically fill up your spirit gauge, making it a great option for spirit gauge management. By pressing R2 4 times in a row, you will perform a Spirit Blade combo, which is a devastating series of wide swings ending with Spirit Round Slash. Each attack in this combo requires that you have some spirit meter, and if the Spirit Round Slash connects with the monster, it will level up your gauge once, giving you a damage buff. This is one of the main aims of the longsword, to hit the round slash as much as possible so you can level up from white to yellow to red for that additional damage to your attacks. The Spirit Blade combo is crucial for the longsword, but it requires commitment. Each button press results in multiple hits, and the final hit must connect to the monster to gain a spirit gauge level. The Spirit Blade combo on the longsword is way better now. You can move around freely and do unique attacks in different directions, so it's easier to hit your target, especially when you're using focus mode. This combo can only be done normally when you have spirit meter, but Wilds has introduced some new moves, which means it isn't required anymore, but we'll speak more in depth on that later. The Spirit Round Slash is powerful, but is even more powerful when you know your options out of it. This is because normally executing a Spirit Round Slash will cause you to sheath your longsword with a lengthy animation, which can slow down the flow of combat. Spirit Round Slash now has new finishing options, as you can now freely roll out of it: Overhead Slash, Rising Slash, Crimson Slash, Special Sheathe, Spirit Thrust, or even Fade Slash. The Fade Slash is also a gateway into your Spirit combo, as it acts as a shortcut, letting you follow it up with Spirit Step Slash, which leads directly into your Spirit Blade combo. The new move, the Spirit Charge, is a very useful attack as it allows you to earn spirit gauge levels quickly and in a new way in Wilds. This can be done by pressing and holding R2. This puts you into an epic samurai-style state that charges up the attack to 3 different levels, which is indicated by the glow around the character, as well as how far the longsword has moved in the semicircle and the button guide. This is a very powerful attack, as it will fill your spirit meter at the cost of stamina, as well as allowing you to skip whole stages of the spirit combo right to the critical Spirit Round Slash. A completely charged Spirit Charge will ready the sword behind the hunter's back, allowing you to follow up with a Spirit Round Slash by letting go of the R2 button. Here we have some handy additional tips for the move to get the most out of it. You can release the charge early for extra options. It is rare that you will need to do this, but it is good to know. Just hold R2 for some time until you get the first glow, and depending on how long you hold the button, you will get a different spirit combo attack based on the level of charge. Something else very useful to ensure you don't whiff the attack is that you can move while charging to reposition by holding the R2 button and using the left stick, as it uses stamina to do the spirit charge. The move can be held as long as you have stamina, and running out will just cause the Spirit Release Slash to be executed. No spirit meter is required for this attack to be performed, meaning you don't need to have any spirit meter in your gauge, making this one of the fastest ways to level up your spirit gauge as you actually gain spirit meter. The great thing about this is that the Spirit Charge also acts as a safety net for your spirit combo. If you run out of spirit meter mid-combo, holding the R2 button will result in a faster charging Spirit Charge, taking into account the level of the spirit combo you were on. One of the biggest draws of the longsword though is the Spirit Helm Breaker, an iconic high damaging finisher that has received major upgrades in Monster Hunter Wilds. It now has new follow-up options that push its damage even higher, making it one of the most devastating attacks in the game. The move is performed in 3 stages: First by pressing R2 plus triangle to activate Spirit Thrust, which has a long wind up but launches you into the air. Once airborne, pressing R2 or triangle will perform the Spirit Helm Breaker, consuming 1 level of the Spirit Gauge to deliver a powerful multi-hit attack. The higher level your gauge, the more damage ticks you deal, meaning red gauge is the optimal time to use it. The biggest change in Wilds is the new Spirit Release Slash, an additional follow-up that takes the damage to another level. After landing your Spirit Helm Breaker, pressing R2 one more time while in red gauge will trigger the Spirit Release Slash, adding another 12 hits of massive damage. This move is the ultimate finisher for the longsword, turning a single Helm Breaker into an explosive chain of attacks. This combo is resource intensive though, as a full execution costs 2 Spirit Gauge levels, but Spirit Release Slash refunds a full bar of Spirit meter, allowing you to chain back into a Spirit combo and level up again. Since these moves have hyper armor built in, a well-timed Spirit Thrust or Spirit Release Slash can let you power through certain monster attacks, although you'll still take chip damage when doing so. While in focus mode, you can also freely aim the Spirit Thrust, making landing precise Helm Breakers easier than ever before. Additionally, Spirit Release Slash can be slightly delayed, giving you more control over when you trigger Hyper Armor, a critical tool for surviving tough fights while still dealing high burst damage. Since the longsword thrives on counterplay, many of its defensive tools also serve as fast ways to level the Spirit Gauge up. A perfectly timed counter not only negates incoming damage, but also instantly levels up the Spirit Gauge, making it an integral part of the longsword's kit. So let's go through your defensive options. Pressing R2 plus circle during a combo activates Foresight Slash, a counter move with invincibility frames that allows you to evade an attack while restoring Spirit Gauge. If successfully timed, you can immediately follow up by pressing R2 to chain into Spirit Round Slash, increasing your Spirit Gauge level. Foresight Slash requires Spirit Meter to get its full effect, but it can be done without it, although this results in shorter invincibility frames and no follow-up attack. To maximize its effectiveness, you want to ensure you always have Spirit Meter before executing it. Timing the counter can be tricky though, but pressing R2 plus circle just before an attack lands will trigger the dodge. The move is fairly forgiving as it activates even on the backward step. If done correctly, you'll hear a bing sound, signaling that you can follow up with another R2 input for the Spirit Round Slash. Practicing against the training dummy in Smash mode is a great way to learn the timing of this. To improve your success, you can influence Foresight Slash's direction by inputting a movement direction while attacking. Advanced players use this to invert the backstep, ensuring they take the hit and trigger the counter, making it a key skill for mastering the longsword. A quick setup combo for Spirit Slash is pressing circle for thrust followed by an immediate R2 plus circle for Foresight Slash. This avoids the longer animation locks from overhead slash or spirit combo, keeping you ready for incoming monster attacks. If extra time is needed, you can loop the thrust combo by spamming circle, giving you a lot of flexibility in your setup. Don't rush into using Foresight Slash because you can delay it by using attack's end lag to time your counter with an incoming attack. A successful counter will refund your Spirit Meter, making it free if executed properly, but missing it will consume your Spirit Meter entirely, so precision is key here. Pressing R2 plus X after an attack activates the special Sheathe, setting up for one of 2 powerful follow-ups. Pressing triangle performs the Iai Slash, which temporarily fills the Spirit Gauge over 15 seconds, making it a great tool for fueling Foresight Slash and Spirit combos. Pressing R2 instead performs the Iai Spirit Slash, a counter that instantly raises the Spirit level by 1 if it connects. Both follow-ups are essential for managing your Spirit Gauge and meter efficiently, making them key to the longsword's combo flow. Like Foresight Slash, Iai Spirit Slash can be influenced directionally, allowing you to reposition mid-combo to maintain pressure or set up for your next attack. Since Iai Spirit Slash ends in a round slash, you can seamlessly transition into rolling, attacking, or setting up another special sheath. A common technique is chaining Iai Spirit Slash into another Iai Spirit Slash, allowing for rapid Spirit Gauge leveling and a fast route to red gauge for maximum damage output. To do this, press R2 plus X to set up special sheath, then time R2 on an incoming attack to trigger Iai Spirit Slash. As soon as it lands, press R2 plus X again to repeat the sequence, letting you cycle through counters while staying aggressive. The Iai Spirit Slash deals massive damage, making it a favored playstyle amongst experienced players, as it allows for constant monster breaks while keeping counter opportunities open. We mentioned it briefly earlier and even spoke about one of the moves, but one of the most exciting new additions to Wilds is the red gauge moveset. This consists of the Foresight Whirl Slash, Crimson Slash combo, Spinning Crimson Slash, as well as the Spirit Release Slash. These moves can only be used in Red Gauge and are all enhanced versions of the longsword's normal moveset. While in Red Spirit Gauge, the Foresight Slash is upgraded to the Foresight Whirl Slash. The input is the same, but this time it has a longer invincibility window and an instant stronger counter attack. However, there are a few things to take into account. Whirl Slash, if landed successfully, will extend your time in Red Gauge, but unsuccessful counters will cause it to drain the time significantly, so make sure you use it where it counts. Spinning Crimson Slash can be done by pressing R2 after a Spirit Round Slash while in Red Gauge, and this is an additional ender that allows you to jump slash in a direction and stop you doing the automatic sheath that occurs at the end of the Spirit Round Slash. This is a great repositioning tool and it hits harder than the normal Spirit Round Slash, so make use of it when you can. Just like the Foresight Slash, the Spinning Crimson Slash will extend the Red Gauge timer, meaning you can make use of the additional damage buff and extend your Red Gauge moveset for longer. The Crimson Slash combo is a 3-stage combo by pressing triangle 3 times, as this replaces your basic overhead combo with a harder and faster hitting attack string. Each button press of triangle will deal multiple hits of damage for a total of 7 hits, each with improved motion values and damage over the basic combo. A great thing about the Crimson Slash combo that the game doesn't tell you is not only is it fast, but it's also loopable and allows you to cancel into other actions such as rolls, whirl slashes, and special sheaths while animations are even playing out. So unlike the basic combo where you have to wait for the animation to play out, you can cancel into your desired action mid-animation, making it very useful to use as a filler while still dealing damage. Unlike previous versions, the longsword's Red Gauge now depletes on a timer, which can be topped up a limited number of times using moves like Foresight Whirl Slash and Spinning Crimson Slash. It no longer depletes during moves, and 2 Spirit Round Slashes will max out the gauge. The longsword's focus strike, the Unbound Thrust, is executed by pressing L2 and R1 together. This move deals significant damage and increases your spirit gauge when it connects with a monster's wound, causing each wound that is destroyed by this move to raise your spirit gauge by 1 level. Directional inputs allow for attack variations, enabling simultaneous strikes on multiple areas. If connecting to a wound is missed, the attack will fail, which is common with all focus strikes. Now you know the basic tools at your disposal, let's put together some useful combos that range from basic to more advanced. Starting off with your basic combos for a refresher. Pressing triangle 3 times will do your basic overhead combo, which is good for maintaining pressure, setting up for counters, and has good reach. Pressing R2 4 times will do the spirit combo, which is a go-to for leveling up the spirit gauge. Remember, the final hit, the Spirit Round Slash, needs to connect with a monster for you to receive the spirit gauge level. Crimson Slash replaces your basic combo, but has the same input of 3 triangles. This is a fast, loopable combo string. You can cancel out of it mid-animation into a roll, sheath, and Foresight Slash, and this is only available in Red Gauge. Due to the fact that you can cancel out of the Crimson Slash combo, you can use this to extend your combo to rack up damage. Press triangle for Crimson Slash 1, then go into a Spirit Combo 1 by pressing R2, and after it hits, go back to Spirit Slash 1. For your Foresight Slash, use this combo for easy setups. Circle for thrust, and then R2 plus circle for the Foresight Slash when you're ready to execute it. This is an easy and simple way to learn how to counter and set up for them. Another tech that you can use is the Spirit Charge Cancel. While in the initial startup of Spirit Charge, you can press either the circle button to Foresight Slash or the X button to Special Sheath. This is heavily dependent on your timing and is very execution heavy. However, if mastered, it will allow you to Special Sheath and Foresight Slash after moves that don't normally let you. The main examples of this being after a roll or failed Spirit Slash, which normally has a ton of end lag that you can mitigate with this. While mounted, you can press triangle to perform a slashing combo, just like you would on foot. This will fill your spirit gauge. But pressing triangle plus circle while mounted simultaneously will execute your dismount attack, which if timed correctly is a counter that will fill your gauge by 1. Upon landing, you can transition directly into a Special Sheath, preparing you for another counter. When jumping, you can press triangle to perform a jumping slash. Alternatively, pressing R2 mid-air will execute an aerial spirit combo, which changes depending on your current gauge level, with yellow bar doing Spirit Jump 2 and red bar doing Spirit Jump 3. Sprinting down a slope though will do a unique attack which is a jumping Spirit Slash combo, so keep that in mind. Now, skills play a crucial role in enhancing the longsword's playstyle, improving your spirit gauge management, counterplay, and sustaining your damage. So let's go through a few. Focus will speed up your spirit gauge charging and spirit charge execution. Quick Sheath reduces weapon sheathing time, while Critical Eye and Weakness Exploit increase your affinity, making your Crimson moves and Spirit Blade techniques hit even harder. For sharpness management, Handicraft will extend your sharpness level, while Protective Polish and Razor Sharp or even Master's Touch will prevent sharpness loss. Critical Boost will further enhance your critical hit damage, making it a must-have when paired with other affinity boosting skills. Burst and Flare add extra offensive options, with Burst granting a damage and element boost for rapid hits, which is easily triggered during your longsword combos. Flare increases your wound creation and is meant to increase damage against wounded parts, which pairs well with your Focus Strike, making it a great synergy for gaining spirit gauge levels through your Focus Strike and wounds. These are your core starting skills, but as Monster Hunter Wilds evolves with updates, new armor sets and more, experimenting with different skill combinations will help optimize your playstyle. Here are some tips and strategies that will have you on your way to mastering the longsword. In Monster Hunter Wilds, you can cancel the third attack of Spirit Blade into a Foresight Slash after the first 2 hits. You can use small bombs as a way to level up your spirit gauge, and you can do this without Quick Sheath, but it's much easier with it. Simply place the bomb down, sheath and time the counter with the explosion of it, but you have to ensure that the round slash connects with a monster, so it is a bit situational. If you want to fit in more counters or don't feel like you have large enough windows before an incoming attack, it's good to know that you can special sheath during the apex of your Foresight Slash to be in a good position to ready to counter the next attack. Something really cool is that you can use focus mode at the end of your Foresight Slash to rotate the direction to ensure you hit it. A successful Foresight Slash doesn't always have to lead into a Spirit Round Slash. If you land a counter but you have a short window before the next incoming hit, pressing circle instead of R2 allows you to immediately chain into another Foresight Slash. This technique is essential for countering fast, back-to-back monster attacks, but keeps you on the offensive while maintaining spirit gauge gain. The Spirit combo allows for unlimited basic attacks between Spirit combo hits. You can resume the Spirit combo at any point where you left off. For example, you can initiate the Spirit combo before Spirit Blade 2, execute any number of normal attacks, and then continue the Spirit combo from Spirit Blade 3. Also, don't forget the Spirit Charge cancel, as it works in a lot of scenarios such as rolls. Your dismount attack is also an easy opener for fights, as it will give you 1 level and do mount damage. For a more advanced fight opener, using the new sneak attack mechanic can give you enough time to fully charge a spirit charge before the monster recovers. This allows you to start the fight with an instant spirit gauge level up, giving you that early advantage. There are specific combo flows that instantly set you at Spirit Blade 3, meaning you're instantly ready to level up the gauge again. This setup includes landing a Focus Strike or Iai Spirit Slash, both of which allow for quick spirit gauge progression, ensuring that you cycle through levels as efficiently as possible. Since earning red gauge takes effort, missing a Spirit Helm Breaker can be frustrating, but there are 2 key mechanics to help you land it more consistently. First, as a staple longsword technique, you can slightly adjust your direction and angle mid-air, letting you better align your landing. Additionally, in Monster Hunter Wilds, you can now sheath Helm Breaker mid-air, cancelling the move if needed. Some of these tips, like chaining Foresight Slashes, mid-air adjustments for Helm Breaker, and using the sneak attack for Spirit Charge setup, take time and practice to master, but once incorporated into your gameplay, you'll see dramatic improvements to your efficiency and damage output. Thank you all so much for watching. We truly hope this guide helps you on your journey to mastering the longsword in Monster Hunter Wilds. We've poured a ton of time into this, testing out strategies, combos, and making sure all of the information here is top-notch. We encourage you to take what you've learnt, head out into the field and experiment. Find the techniques and combos that click with your playstyle. You see, the longsword is incredibly versatile, so don't be afraid to get creative and discover what works best for you. And remember, the hunt is a marathon, not a sprint. The more time you practice with the longsword, the more deadly you will become. So keep honing those skills, and I'll see you out there on the field. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 2-6.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.